How many weeks were you off?
Teller's last show was like Thanksgiving. Round us rings. Where are you, Goudeau?
Brothers and sisters, welcome to Penn Sunday School.
Are we doing a show? Is that
Yeah,
the start?
that's
You just said we had 5 minutes.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
Those headphones aren't on, which is why.
Why aren't your headphones on, Goudeau?
Because Rich just said we had 5 minutes.
No, he didn't. He said 5
Brothers
seconds.
and sisters, welcome to Penn Sunday School. Start
And siblings.
All right, well, here he is preaching love.
This makes me feel so much better.
I said you are much better than Goudeau. And then just to lower the bar further.
I feel great about next week. I feel really good.
Brothers, sisters, and siblings, welcome to Penn Sunday School, starring Penn Gillette.
Okay.
We'll do a quiet version. My name is Michael Goudeau. Matt Donnelly, Penn and I are broadcasting from Show Creator Studios South, right here in Las Vegas. This week, we're going to talk about Goudeau's pants being stolen. We'll answer a lot of listeners' questions. Penn and Mac hung out in Nashville, Tennessee, and Penn and Teller have a brand new show.
Brand new show.
Here he is preaching love.
Here I am preaching the love. Now, why?
Everybody wants to know if we're genuinely surprised every time the show starts.
Yeah.
When did you? Why did you have your headphones off?
We had 5. I thought he just said we had 5 minutes.
No,
I
he
thought.
didn't. He said 5, 4, 3.
All right. I was looking to see how many weeks Teller had been off.
Why do you need your headphones off for that? What did you need your headphones off for?
I have a speaking calendar. It's not very useful.
Jesus Christ, that was just piss poor.
Well, we could start over. You could
So-
pretend.
So last night,
It
no,
didn't happen.
No, we can't. We report everything. You know, that's the thing.
We are naked before our listeners.
If you don't do the null set, put the armor where the bullet holes aren't.
Yeah.
The null set is really important.
Yeah.
So now, if you ever do one right, which you haven't, you can imagine how
I've been close a
astonishing.
couple of times.
You've been really close. I was like 3, 4 times, and I was almost like, "Whoa, that's
I know.
it's kind of an okay idea."
I'm going to get this.
See, the problem is we recorded the theme song with those breaks in there.
Yeah.
And the breaks turned out to be a very bad idea, and Goudeau could never fill them properly. But I didn't want to re-record the song.
Perhaps
This actually
it's
was already your second song.
Right.
Because the first one you found out you couldn't legally do.
it's a systemic problem. It's barely related to me.
Oh, it's related to you.
No.
Oh, yes. Yes. So I just got back from Nashville.
Nashville. Did you have the Nashville hot chicken? You didn't. You don't eat chicken.
No. The idea of chicken makes me sick now.
I got to make you Nashville hot tofu. I've done that, and it's really good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm into that. I'm curious about this because Nashville hot is just suddenly everywhere.
Yeah, it's suddenly everywhere.
What is Nashville hot?
I don't know.
You fry chicken, but then you take a cup of the grease that you just fried the chicken in, and you pour it into a little bowl with some brown sugar and some cinnamon and some hot sauce, a couple other ingredients, and then you paint that on the outside of the chicken that you just fried.
Okay.
And
Not healthful.
no, I didn't say it was healthful. It is probably the worst thing you could possibly eat.
How do you do a tofu version of that? You just make the sauce as
Yeah, just dip. You can deep fry tofu.
You can deep fry tofu.
and then just paint it over
You
the
can
top.
deep fry your shoe.
I'm listening.
I can deep fry your shoe for you.
I got to tell you,
Nashville hot shoe.
I have been, since beginning of the year, I've been losing 2.5 pounds a week.
Yeah.
Like clockwork. About 1/3 of a pound a day, like clockwork. Boom, boom, boom. I went to Nashville and just said, well, fuck it, So I ate like a big bag of pistachios, salted. I ate a jar of peanut butter, and I went to this place called House of Cards, which is it's amazing how the world has changed. This place is called House of Cards. It's underneath the Johnny Cash Museum. And it's one of these places that's trying to be, classy like Circus Steakhouse.
Yes.
Like red velvet on the wall and that kind of classy,
Yeah.
banquettes and waiters in tuxedos.
Classy.
Classy.
Soft goods.
But very
Classy
nice.
with a K.
But very, very nice. And it's a steakhouse, right? They have, our steak is cold aged for 40 years and the black Angus from the farms and grass fed
We wait to the last minute to scrape the mold off of it before it hits the pan.
Yeah, that whole thing. 2 vegan dishes on the menu. I mean, things vegan surf and turf which I was going to say, isn't that like seaweed?
Yeah.
But no,
Seaweed and grass.
it's mushrooms and stuff prepared like lobster and like steak. And it was really good. And they had like a wonderful butternut squash, and everything could be prepared vegan. I mean, other than the steaks, I suppose. It's really good. But I came back 2 days, 4 pounds back on.
Yeah.
More than 10 days shot to hell.
Yeah.
More than 10 days shot to hell. Now, maybe go away right away when the salt leaves my system.
Yeah, the salt is good.
Salt will leave my system, and I'll get some good news tomorrow. But I got up this morning. I didn't sit on the scale because that would look
It's a weird one.
weird.
Hard to read.
Error. User error.
I mean, I'm a smart ass, but not that much. And I stood on the scale, and then I was so. I mean, everything has gone perfectly for me. My life is doing wonderfully, and just that weight going back up, Bumsville, Daddy-O.
Yeah.
Bumsville, Daddy-O. You got to toe the line. You got to toe the line. You're just happier. You feel better. You're happier. You look better. Everything's better. Stop it.
Well, also, when you're traveling or when you're feeling like, you're on the road, you're missing people, that's the time you choose to eat badly. And that's when you should be eating well.
I know. You really should. But Nashville was a great gig. I was going to speak to, it's hard to describe, outside IT providers. Like corporations used to have their IT guy.
Yeah.
And that has been phased out by a lot of corporations. And now they do an outside company that does their IT.
Ben's like, yeah, because originally,
Farming it out.
because if you have to give benefits to the guy who says just turn it off and turn it on again, that's different than if you pay a company to say just turn it off and turn it on again.
Yeah. So this is this fabulous woman who's set up this organization that helps these guys market themselves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was engaged to speak to them. And I did 2 tricks. I did stupid and I did trust. Mm-hmm. Then in between, I had 15 minutes to talk about my brand, which I do not like talking about brand. And then she interviewed me for an hour afterwards. So I was on stage for an hour and a half.
How do you handle that? Because I know you absolutely despise talking about your brand.
I actually talked about that.
You just talked about how you despise talking.
I said I don't like talking about brand. And then it turned into this weird thing where I said that I really believe that honesty mattered. Like, we get all this credit for talking to people after the show and posing with pictures. And there's been marketing magazines that have written up the Penn and Teller brilliant marketing thing,
Yes.
how we do this. And I always bristle at it
Yeah.
because it was never, ever, ever part of our marketing.
Right.
I even get upset when Glenn wants to release that we meet people afterwards. It's not part of our marketing. It's just what we do. And I talked a lot about that. And, I talked a little bit about whether atheism was a plus or a minus to my brand.
Right.
And whether speaking freely about stuff. And it was really fun. She's wicked, crazy smart. Her name is Robin Robbins, which I love.
Yeah.
I love, Robbie
like
Robertson.
names, yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
And I told her that my daughter I don't even know if you guys know this, was very close to naming her Gillette.
Oh.
So she'd be Jill Gillette.
Yeah.
Because Gillette is a great first name.
Yeah.
So she'd be Jill Gillette. I've told Moxie that.
Oh, I could have gone with Don Donnelly.
Yeah.
I had 2 boys. I missed out.
Or Donnelly.
Donnelly I like a lot. And Don, what's short for Donald? No. Donnelly.
Donnelly.
I can't see my wife liking that at all.
No.
No, the wives don't like those sorts of things. I
No.
hate to say that.
Yeah, like Blue.
I picked many names and got none.
Because Goudeau would be great.
I wanted to name my son Captain.
Captain?
I thought that'd be great.
Oh,
Baloo, also, yeah.
Captain's a good name, too.
Captain.
And Cap is short is great.
I thought Senator.
Call Cap. I'm going to call Cap.
Yeah.
Well, Judge Reinhold.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah. I think those are all good ideas. She is the first person I've met, Robin Robbins, with a odd name that did not like it growing up.
Oh.
Everybody I know with an odd name, my buddy Carr,
Yep.
Emery, all those, they all love it. My name Penn, I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's much harder to have a name that other people have. It seems like much worse on a child.
It's also stupid. Like as an adult, like there are just so many Matt Donnellys.
Oh, yeah.
Like everyone's always like, "Are you sure you want to hang it on the My Noodler thing or something like that?" I'm always like, "Go ahead and Google Matt Donnelly." I'm positive I want to go with the My Noodler.
There's a lot of Matt Donnellys.
Yes, and even in entertainment, there's a lot of Matt Donnellys.
Wow.
It's very annoying.
There's now this new there's a Penn guy.
Oh,
The guy with the first name Penn. He's on the show You. He's like a piece of ass, wicked, good looking guy named Penn.
So you'll take those tweets.
Sure.
Yeah, I have kind of a worse problem. There was a Mark Goudeau who was a mass murderer.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's
And
why
of
that
course,
middle name thing to stick.
if we want to talk a little bit about names, you should bring in our good buddy Mike Jones. And I believe the most common name is Michael Jackson, right?
I think so.
Yeah, something like that. So, I think having a name where in a pretty broad circle, you're the only one with that name is pretty good. But I've never met this Penn. Very, 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 very attractive.
Right.
Supposedly, he plays a.
This factor into the new diet focus, like you.
Yeah, I want the two Penns to be pieces of ass. For a while, there
You
was
owe it to him.
there was a Penn spelled differently.
I'm
Yeah.
glad that we could talk about the branding. You guys should both be pieces of ass. That's good branding.
That's really good branding.
I'll talk to you guys about branding right now. Here's a picture of this pen. Here's a picture of this pen.
Which Penn do you like better? Him. That's what I'm talking about.
James Smith and Maria Garcia.
Are the two common?
Yeah.
Maria Garcia,
And James Smith.
James Smith.
James Smith. I don't even know a James Smith. Oh, Jimmy Smiths. No, that's a different name.
That is a different name, yeah.
That wasn't even close.
You gotta get good at nicknames then, right?
Yeah.
You gotta have a lot of nicknames.
My buddy the Weasel. What's your name? James Smith.
James Smith.
They call me the Weasel. Well, I've told this story before, but Vinny the Puke.
Yes.
Which
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
If your name is Vinny the Puke and there's another guy in the same business as you
Yeah.
on the same lot, what more can a fella do?
Well, that's it. But once you love calling someone Vinny the Puke, every time you meet another Vinny, you gotta want to call him that.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess that's the problem. Vinny the Puke is too good a
My
name.
name's Vinny. Vinny the Puke? No. Well, I know a Vinny the Puke. And then within a week, you become Vinny the Puke.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess you're going to be. You know, it was 20 years ago this week that Glenn Ally, the long-suffering Glenn, who is long-suffering, he's got the flu. Motherfucker, sick like a dog. Really, really bad. Couldn't even go to Nashville with me.
Yeah.
The long-suffering Laura had to take over as babysitter.
Oh, no.
And she was very, very nervous.
Yeah.
Very nervous. She's doing all the interacting and all the, grown-up stuff that I can't do.
Yeah.
She was doing a fine job. But Glenn, 20 years ago, told me that I was going on Larry King Live. And he said, I believe the intern was supposed to book you last week and booked Cal Penn instead. Because Cal Penn was on and Larry King had questions that were inappropriate. He was asking Cal Penn about magic.
So how did you and your partner meet?
So I wonder if
Cal Penn selling romantic stories about meeting his partner.
this other Penn, what's the guys? Look up Penn on You. There's a show called You. Look up, I should say his last name, but I would
Piece of ass, right? Penn piece of ass?
I would very much like to look like that Penn instead of this Penn.
Yeah.
I was not given that option.
You probably want to switch houses, so you could probably talk.
Are you wanting the last name?
Yeah.
Badgley.
Badgley.
Oh, that's a good piece of ass name. Penn Badgley?
But just look at a picture of him. Is he an attractive man?
Yeah.
Penn Badgley?
Oh, I'd bang him. Yeah.
Yeah. Very attractive man. Very attractive. Penn Badgley, better looking than Penn Jillette.
Do you know LL Cool J?
I do.
James Smith.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's good nicknaming right there.
That is. That is good.
That's some great nicknaming.
Very good nicknaming. He was going to go with Jimmy the Puke. But that was too close to Vinny the Puke. LL Cool J is Jim Smith, huh? And Maria Garcia. A lot of Maria Garcias, huh? I guess for there's more variation in women's names than men's names. Is that true in the United States?
Probably.
I think so.
Your wife's sister April wrote and was showrunner for You.
Oh yes, I can. I kind of
You
knew
kind of
that.
have like a little Penn kind of cross.
So she knows
family
Penn.
and stuff.
She knows Penn Badgley.
Yeah.
She probably knows Penn Badgley.
Probably got into the audition because he said it was Penn.
Penn,
Penn's here. Oh, fantastic. Let him in.
he sometimes goes by the name Penn Badgley.
Okay.
That sometimes goes by that, but Badgley more often. Yeah. So I should meet Penn Badgley just so I could have a picture with Penn and Penn.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Because he probably doesn't know many Penns either. I mean, how could he know more Penns than me?
He can't.
He could be from a pen farm or something. What do you got? What do you got? Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll talk about this. I'll talk about this right now. Is there something that interferes with your happiness or is preventing you from achieving your goals?
Yes.
No.
Other than
no.
Never mind.
Shut up.
BetterHelp Online Counseling is there for you. Connect with your professional counselor in a safe and private online environment. It's so convenient. I like this. You can now get help on your own time at your own pace. You can schedule secure video or phone sessions plus chat and text with your therapist. Licensed professional counselors who are specialized in depression, stress, anxiety, relationships, sleeping, trauma, anger, family conflicts, LGBT matters, grief, and self-esteem.
Can I just call them like right after I read the New York Times morning news?
Yes. cover all of that.
Yeah. Take out your copy. We're going to go through these points.
I just want to go through the first 4 items.
If you're not happy with your counselor, which you'll be, the counselor I got was great. Maybe you get the same counselor I get. She was great. 3,000 U.S. licensed therapists across all 50 states, available worldwide. You pick text, chat, phone, or video. Have you done? You've done therapy?
Yeah,
right?
I'm still in therapy. Yeah,
also,
love
done-
therapy.
yeah.
Big fan.
Well, this is a way to do it cheaper.
Yes.
Definitely cheaper, more convenient.
And I agree with all that. Like just having a voice, someone whose only job it is just to listen to you, and they don't take ownership of your life like your friends do. Like that's just that role alone is so important.
Convenient, professional, affordable. It's not a crisis line.
No.
Of course. Best of all, it's truly affordable. Penn Sunday School listeners get 10% off your first month with discount code
Penn.
So Penn Badgley. So why not get started today? Go to betterhelp.com/.
Penn.
Simply fill out a questionnaire to help them assess your needs and get matched with a counselor you'll love, and you will love your counselor. That's betterhelp.com/.
Penn.
You got that right. Oh my goodness. These people are so good to us. They have been advertisers with us since the very beginning.
Yeah.
They have a great service. If you're not using them, start using them. I'll even tell you what they are. Stamps.com.
Stamps.com.
Postage rates have gone up again, but thankfully Stamps.com eases the pain with big discounts off post office retail rates. How do they do it? I don't know. With Stamps.com, you save 5 cents off every first-class stamp and up to 40% off shipping rates. That's kind of savings really adds up for a small business. Really adds up.
Yes.
A lot. 40% adds up. 40% is like 40%.
I'd even say for a large business that would mean more.
Yes, you're right. Plus, Stamps.com is completely online, which saves you time. No more inconvenient trips to the post office. They're a longtime supporter of the show. We've been using Stamps.com since 2012, and it's so convenient. 2012, 8 years. I use it for everything. I don't use it for anything, the truth is.
Yeah.
But people I work with use it for everything.
Yes.
It's used in your name.
Yes, all the time.
My very small company uses it for everything as well.
With Stamps.com, you get discounted postage rates that you can't even get at the post office, not to mention, and there's no equipment to lease or long-term, the not to mention part I didn't mention.
I understood.
Yeah.
And now here's a fellow who needs no introduction.
With Stamps.com, you get Stamps.com is a no-brainer, saving you time and money. It's no wonder over 700,000 small businesses already use Stamps.com. And by the way, Stamps.com, if you want that talking point to be said out loud, don't start it with not to mention. Right now, our listeners get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale without any long-term commitment. Good thinking. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in
Penn.
That's stamps.com. Enter
Penn.
Beautiful. That was very well done, gentlemen. Very, very, very well done. I got another one?
Yeah.
That just came out of nowhere. This just handed to me.
This just in.
9 out of 10 couples.
We did so well in the last ad, they just fired it off.
9 out of 10 couples prefer a different mattress firmness.
And the other one was Terry Schiavo.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, we went back for that.
Went back for that. 9 out of 10 couples prefer a different mattress firmness,
Yes.
one side from the other. From feather soft to firm, you can adjust each side of your Sleep Number setting so it's just right for both of you.
Both of you.
Discuss your favorite. I will. Now that I'm on my regimen of losing weight,
Yeah.
and rather Spartan regiment, I have very firm mattress and I dig it. I dig it. Emily, sleeping next to me, sleeps on a softer mattress. And we can do that because we have Sleep Number beds. It's really, really good. Sleep is vital for healthy living. It strengthens immunity, increases the ability to focus, sharpens cognitive function, and improves physical health and emotional well-being. In addition to sleep, here are 3 smoothie recipes to power your year. I don't know why they have smoothie recipes, but they do. Individual fit technology only at Sleep Number stores. Go visit a Sleep Number store right now and explore the science behind the bed. Discover comfort for you and your partner. Visually see your body's pressure points react to a Sleep Number 360 smart bed. I'll tell you, I was at a great hotel in Nashville. Such a good hotel. Everything was great about it. Had all the USB plugs.
In the
Everything just right. Just beautiful. I loved it. Bed, not as good as mine. Sleep Number beds allow you to adjust on each side to your ideal firmness, comfort, and support. Sleep Number 360 smart bed senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you sleeping comfortably throughout the night. With Sleep IQ, technology inside the bed, it tracks how you're sleeping and gives you personalized insights for the best sleep. Discover proven quality sleep and save 50%. That can't be right. Save 50% on a 360 limited edition smart bed now during the ultimate Sleep Number event. Only at Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com/Penn.
Sleep.
Yeah, Glenn has the flu. And tell her, since he's gotten back,
Yeah.
and
Last
recovering.
night, right? Last night was the first big show back.
Since Thanksgiving.
Oh man, I'll tell you what I've learned.
What do you,
I wouldn't trade Twitter profiles with Teller to save my life.
why is that?
Because he mentioned me in Mac in a thank you post, Mac and Pivot a thank you post, and
Yep.
saying he's back.
Yep.
And the amount of dumb back jokes and dumb but you're talking on Twitter jokes. Just I was in all of those mentions for like 4 days, and I was like, this is hell. This is hell. I don't wish Teller's Twitter account on anyone.
Yeah, Teller.
The dumbest jokes I've ever seen.
Teller gets you to all the not talking stuff,
All the time.
which is annoying to me, and it's not me. And Teller has his standard answer. Oh, you talk only to you.
Yeah.
I've never talked before. This is the first time,
Yeah.
which I think is very inferior to just, oh, fuck you,
Grow up.
which he occasionally uses. Fuck you. Yeah.
My wife has had shingles for over 3.5 weeks.
Oh.
She is a poor suffering monster.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, yeah. Combine that with the flu. Oh, it's been great at my house.
Who has the flu?
My wife and both kids.
Your wife has the flu and shingles at the same time?
And shingles at the same time.
Is she going to live?
Yeah, today was the day she sort of turned around a little bit. Today she woke up and smiled for the first time in a month. Poor thing.
Oh, Jesus
I know.
Christ.
It's
And
been-
so you're all virulent with the flu?
No, I went and got tested. I got swabbed. They stuck a Q-tip into my nose, and I don't have the flu.
You know, and you're so you're not contagious.
I'm not contagious.
But you're all dripping with flu shit all over you, right?
Probably.
See, Teller got very upset, and Teller's worried about the meet and greets after the show. So Teller now has hand sanitizer next to him
Yeah.
while he's meeting people. What I do is I've trained myself. I think I've trained myself. I need someone to watch me. I think I've trained myself to not touch my face at all during the whole meet and greets.
Yeah.
And I go back and we have surgical sponges for
Clean it up.
surgery. And I completely wash down after every meet and greet. because doctors tell us that the meet and greets we do are very, very foolish.
Wow.
It's a pretty high risk behavior.
Yeah. It seems like if I was going to engage in high risk behavior, there are ones I would enjoy more.
Nope.
This is why I let people ride me like a pony for both reasons.
Yeah. But so Teller had a little dispenser of hand sanitizer next to him.
Which is really funny.
Just stand in a bucket of it.
If you don't realize that he's doing it for everyone, but like you get your picture, and as soon as you walk away, you just see him just dousing his hands in hand sanitizer.
Yeah. Well, we were over in China, not recently, by the way, but even back when we were over there like 20 years ago, we used a lot of hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
And I think it was insulting. We tried not to get caught.
Yeah.
But I just believe that I get a little. I'm not Howie Mandel, you know.
Yeah.
But I try not to
You're
touch my
getting there.
face. I'm getting there.
Someday.
So Teller got back surgery right after Thanksgiving.
Do you think you guys have slightly better immune systems for having done meet and greets your whole career?
I would think so. I would think there's a strong immune system there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, pride goeth before the fall. I don't want to brag on. I never get sick.
No. I'm just saying. Like, I think just seeing as it could cut both ways. I'm just saying you guys probably also have a little bit of a better boost by having done it for so long.
Yeah, we probably get micro doses of everything.
Yeah.
And you have children, and they're the worst vectors in the world.
Yeah, the children are.
I have two kids in two different schools right now.
You're bringing home everything.
Try to expand that.
Well, how old are the youngest now?
They're 4 and 6, so one's in preschool.
You're just getting out of where daycare centers are essentially just bathhouses in San Francisco in 1981.
Yeah.
Just exchange of every fluid possible.
And they're finally getting big enough for like indoor playgrounds, or they're a little big for indoor playgrounds.
Thank goodness.
And that's it, because I look at stuff in there and I go, there's no way to clean those. You can't clean sponge bricks.
No.
You can't clean those every night.
No.
There's no way they soak them in some giant tub. That's the same size as the pit.
That room
of
should
sponge
just
bricks
close
that
off.
they're
It's
in.
just like a submarine. You should be able to close it and it'd fill with water.
That used to be, I think I said this before, that used to be my dream. When I worked at Howard Johnson's and other restaurants as a dishwasher, I used to spend hours fantasizing that
How to manage that?
when the restaurant was closed, it would just be filled from top to bottom with warm, soapy water. And I would have my special cleaning scuba suit. And I would go in swimming among all the pots and pans underwater, cleaning everything. And then it would all just go and drain out.
Yeah.
And I'd stand there in my scuba suit, and then it would all fill up again with rinse water. I'd go rinse everything. I would do that a couple more times. I would just go in the back room, take off my scuba suit, and that would be my night of cleaning. I love that so much.
Pretty good.
I love that so much.
That's good.
Mr. Borofsky, who he owned the Howard Johnsons and his daughter was in my class.
Yes.
But he owned the Jean Borofsky. I wonder what happened to Jean Borofsky. She was the one who wore the shortest miniskirts in our school and was often called to the principal. Now, what happens when 64-year-old Jean Borofsky, does she remember that? Or is she now singing Harper Valley PTA somewhere? The day my mama socked it too. And Mr. Borofsky, you'd think I'd be able to let this go. This is when I was 18. I was, and I really believe this is true.
Yeah.
I was the best dishwasher he ever had.
Yeah.
My co-workers would come in tripping. They were always tripping.
Yeah.
LSD was very, very, very big. I mean, the tablets were like gigantic, size of baseballs.
8.5 by 11.
There was blotter acid, 8.5 by 11. A lot of chewing. LSD was very popular at that time. The other people I would work with would come in tripping, right? They would go into the refrigerator in their coat and sit there looking at vegetables. And I would do all the work. I would do a 2-person shift by myself. I could load and unload simultaneously an industrial dishwasher, plus use my pan dandy over at the pan to do the big pots, plus do a certain amount of salad prep, sous chefing, plus bus. I wasn't allowed out among the customers because of the way I looked, but I was able to do the bus trays when they came back. And I was able to bring drinks to the short order cooks, do that all wonderfully, and mop the floor. I was really good. I mean, like that country song, I'm Woman, I was like that. I could do everything. And I was really, really good. And Mr. Borofsky came back, and I was sitting, leaning against one of the tables. And he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Everything is under control, sir. I'm just waiting for the next task." And he said, "Well, I didn't pay you to just stand around."
Oh.
Being punished for being too good.
Yeah.
So when I first did Comedy Central, and I was doing all the voice here at Comedy Central, and tonight Kenny dies here at Comedy Central. Coming up, Bill Maher, politically incorrect. I would do all that.
Yeah.
I did that for 8 years.
Great to hear it again. It really is.
I did that for 8 years. Lou Reed used to say he couldn't watch Comedy Central because his friend was in the other room. Made him very uncomfortable to hear me yelling at him from the other room. So he just wouldn't watch Comedy Central. Comedy Central would book me for a 3-hour tour, 3-hour session to do all the VO.
Yeah.
And Comedy Central paid me very, very well.
Right.
3-hour session. I would go into my 3-hour session and I would have 35 pages of VO. And that 3-hour session, I would be done in 35 minutes. You know what they said? "Oh, this is so great. So great." They would call up, say, "Penn is so great, he does a 3-hour session in 35 minutes. I so wanted to call up Mr. Borofsky. And I wanted to say, "See, when you get a worker who does the work you want done in a shorter amount of time, that's better for everyone.
Yeah.
Reward that worker. Do not punish that worker by making him do busy work. Reward that worker." But it's just a different level. Yeah. I'll tell you, I might have stayed with dishwashing. And Mr. Borofsky allowed me to say,
had he been a kinder man.
He wasn't unkind. I remember one discussion I had with him when he bought a new kind of Pan Dandy. We had Pan Dandy, which I love that name. Yeah. Very Jonathan Winters name. Pan Dandy, which was an industrial scrubber for that. And he brought a new version in of Pan Dandy and said, "So Penn, are you doing pots today?" And I said, "Yes, there's pots to do." He said, "Well, I want you to try this new, is that Mr. Borofsky? Who's that?
Is that Jean?
That could be. What's she doing?
Art in Groton, Massachusetts.
Really?
Yeah.
There's Jean Borofsky. That could be Jean Borofsky easily. Oh, that's wonderful.
Want to pass that down?
I wonder, I can see it. I just see it from here. I wonder where her,
wonder where her heart is at right now.
Oh, that's wonderful. Why are you bringing that to me? Oh, yes, that's Jean Borofsky, I'm sure.
She's an artist. How cool is that?
That's really great. That's really great. And I didn't know the Howard Johnsons is no longer there. And her father could still be alive. He wasn't an elderly man at the time. He could still be alive. But I forget what I was saying now.
New Pan Dandy.
New Pan Dandy. So
we're about to try the new Pan Dandy.
Mr.
We're moving. I'm moving to new Pan Dandy.
Mr. Borofsky came in.
Pan Dandy.
Mr. Borofsky came in and said, "I'd like you to see what you think of this new detergent that we're thinking of buying in bulk." I said, "Okay, let's give it a try." And I filled up the thing and I said, "The suds are nice." And he said, "Well, the suds, the bubbles don't matter at all for the cleaning." And I said, "Mr. Borofsky, I'm a dishwasher, but I still have my aesthetics. I enjoy washing the pans with a little bit of soap suds on top. I enjoy that, and I believe that's something you could invest in, the aesthetics for your dishwashers." He was not amused.
Taken by that.
I thought it was a very good argument, the aesthetics of dishwashing. And I remember one time I thought it'd be really, really funny if I took the short order cooks would say, "Bring me a Coke over here," right? And I would take their paper cup and I would run to the Coke machine and I would give them I would fill it up with Coke and I would bring it out to them and hand it to them, right? And one time I thought, to just be funning with them, I would poke a hole in the bottom of the cup, fill it with Coke, put my little finger over it, and then hand them the Coke. And then when we pick it up, it would be dripping out the bottom. I thought that would be not dripping, flowing out the bottom.
Yeah.
I thought that'd be really funny. I hadn't thought it out completely because the cook just stood there, held that thing in his hand and went, "Can I have a mop over here in the short order area? Can I just have a mop?" I had to come up with a mop and clean up my joke. Now the other dishwashers would try to have sex with the servers. They would try to flirt with the servers. And
Universal, I think.
My first day in, I realized that in history, a server having sex with a dishwasher had probably never happened. Right?
Right.
So I decided that I would have a different strategy. Okay? So I acted wicked dumb. Easy for me. What?
Yeah.
You need what, where? Huh? And you know what they did? They did not have sex with me. They gave me extra ice cream.
Almost as good.
Because when we would have our supper, we have our dinner break, okay? We could order anything on the menu, except there was 4 things we couldn't order. There was a fish dish, a lobster dish, a steak, the thing you'd expect.
Yeah.
We could order anything else. And you could then ask for ice cream, right? And the servers would get you the ice cream because I couldn't go out because they didn't want people to see me.
Yeah.
Because of the way I looked. Mr. Borowski thought, looking at Penn, bad for business.
Yeah.
Unappetizing.
And during it was all you could eat fish fries. I had a partner and one of the servers who would watch and see if they didn't touch their food, then they bring it back to the dishwasher. We'd split it. That was good. But they would go out and they would serve your ice cream to you, right?
Oh.
And the other dishwashers who were tripping and trying to have sex with the servers, they gave them little small dishes of ice cream.
Yeah.
But me, could I have some extra ice cream maybe? They would get a bigger bowl and fill it up with pistachio ice cream. Oh, so good. So good.
And that's the 2.5 pounds a day you're losing now.
Yeah. I loved being a dishwasher. I just loved it. I looked forward to going to work. And I also loved because the restaurant would close at 10, and there was about 3 hours of cleanup you had to do that you were alone in the restaurant. And being alone, you've worked restaurants.
Yeah. And actually, especially Tierney's Tavern, which was like a tree house with the deep fryer, I called it.
Yeah.
You rotated who cooked. And if you cooked, you did your own dishes.
Uh-huh.
Which meant that you spent an hour of your shift doing cleanup, which meant you spent an hour of your shift not dealing with bar customers.
Uh-huh.
And so when you worked a lot, it was like, at first I used to hate cooking and wonder who wanted to do the cooking shift. And then some of the more experienced partners would be like, I feel like cooking tonight. I'd be like, what is wrong with you? It is just miserable in there. You're just covered in grease. You have to do all the dishes. And then sure enough, after a couple of years of working there, I was like, yeah, I'm cooking tonight. Like, I don't feel like talking to people. I'm going to hide back here.
They created for me a special version of the Big Mac that they would make me that was gigantic with huge beef Salisbury steak patties piled up with cheese. If you got people to like you, more important, feel sorry for you. The amount of food you could get. And I would always have a book with me, but I found that was talking about books to people in there did not play well. No. So I just ripped the cover off and tell them it was a silly book. I'd make something up. So it was good. I liked it. I wonder if Mr. Brown, if anybody, what town is she in?
Groton.
If anybody knows Jean Borowski in Groton, ask her about her dad. And
there's a phone number here.
Have her. We're not going to give out her phone number. Have her tell her dad that Penn, who washed dishes there, now gets time off when he does his job really well. And I don't think, by the way, I was a better VO guy than I was a dishwasher. It's not like, he found his calling. I think
you also clean up the studio while you were.
I did.
Finish the VO a little early and mop the floors.
But I liked working that job. They made me wear a hairnet And it was part of their attack on the hippies. It wasn't, they didn't make
make women wear them.
wear them, but they had to make men wear this. They thought that we would be insulted, but I wasn't. I liked it.
Yeah.
I also liked working. I washed dishes at the hospital. You want to speak about being nervous about viruses and stuff?
Yeah.
Working dishwashing in the hospital, and like the first week, you're like, oh, these are coming down from sick people. Week 2, you're eating off the plates.
I think now we know where you got your immune system from.
Joey's doing dishes sometimes at Penn. He works at Penn.
Yeah.
Delivery driver. And when there are no deliveries, they make him do dishes. And he loves it. Like you. He just really likes the dishwashing machine.
Oh, the dishwashing machine is great.
The industrial dishwasher is badass.
Yeah.
I've never seen one, but man, he loves it.
Yeah, it moves through on a conveyor belt.
He talks about it being like a steam train.
And it works all the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop. I mean, it can stop, but that's for people on acid. People like me, I'd fill it up on one side, wash my hands, unload it, run over, fill it up on the other side, boom, boom, boom. It's a 2-person operation. That's what makes it so much fun.
Yeah.
That makes you feel very, very good. So I want to talk about, Thanksgiving, Tyler did his last show.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that's been that's 2 months, right?
I don't know. I was not allowed to count.
Wow. Some wounds just don't heal.
Yeah.
Some wounds just don't heal.
Well, you know.
5 minutes, Goudeau.
I got a hard time for trying to do my job right.
But not for getting it done
I didn't get it done fast or well. That is true. But I was trying to have the answer to that question.
Yeah, you've had about 2 months off.
Yeah, about 2 months off, hadn't done shows. Now, you'd think, going back, what I said last night to people on stage, I said, we're doing a lot of new stuff because we figured after 2 months we'd forgotten the show anyway. So why not do one we never knew? So we did a lot of new material. You were over last week.
Yes.
You saw one thing we did. We saw 52 Squared.
Yeah.
We did that. We also did Hoodie.
You did. So I saw both those things.
And they went very well.
Oh, great.
But we're also doing...
I really like both of those tricks.
Yeah, they played really well. And we also did Cowboy, which is, I think, best trick we've ever done.
Oh, I love that trick.
My favorite trick
from a writing perspective.
I believe it's my favorite trick we've ever done. I'm most proud of it. It's not the best trick trick. That's probably bullet catch.
Yeah.
But I think it has no antecedent. I'm really proud of it. And we haven't done it for about 5-6 years.
Yeah.
So we had to spruce it back up, put it back together. And I think it's the only time where people actually gasp in the theater.
Yeah.
So hearing that big gasp was really great, and hearing that reaction. And then we have a bit called Handcuffs, called various things. Handcuffs, Cuff to a Creep, How We Met. It's been called all those things in programs. And this is a bit where the only bit we've ever done where there's a fourth wall.
Right.
It takes place in another place. And we're starting with Sam Harris. Sam Harris does a full minute at the top of it because you're inside my head and I'm meditating. And you also see pictures of park benches. So it sets it up to be in another place. And then we're also,
nice.
We're not wearing matching suits. I'm in a sweatshirt and a baseball hat. Telly's in like a leather jacket and sunglasses. And we're not playing ourselves. And it doesn't take place in the theater. It's the only bit we've ever done that way. And originally, when we did it off Broadway, and it was the poster for our show, it was everything. There was a big physical fight in the middle of it. And now, we're elderly.
Yeah.
We didn't want the fight seemed unsavory. And so we reworked it to be all about electronics. So I'm wearing an Apple Watch, I have an iPhone, and I have AirPod Pros in my hair. And it's all about communication with the outside world until they're stripping that away from me. So the violence that's done in it, which used to be physical, is now done to my electronics. He's just throwing my phone and stuff.
Interesting.
And it really played really, really well. It's such a different tone from everything else you've ever done.
Yeah.
I've always tried to think of another bit to do like that is a fourth wall that's a little short story, a little one-act play. And we haven't got another one, but that's a really nice one. And the thing we do, the crazy thing, multiple outs. Have you seen that? The thing with the 52 people standing up in the audience.
I haven't seen it.
We
yet.
did that, and it worked perfectly last night. Stupid went really well. Watermelon went well. All this new stuff. And I said at the beginning of the show, which was a pretty shocking thing to say, I said, if you've seen every appearance we've ever done on TV, and you've been to our show every 6 months for the past 10 years, more than half this show will be new to you.
That's crazy.
Really great.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty nuts. And next Saturday, 3 more bits are going in.
Wait, what's coming out then? Because I'm going away next week, but I want to see all this stuff.
Well, all that's going out is stuff we have in there. Trust is coming out because we already shot that. And Needles is coming out.
Okay.
And then we're going to put in a thing called Placebo, which is really complicated chop cup routine. Placebo. We're putting in a thing called French Drop, where Tella teaches the French Drop to the audience. And we're putting in a bit called Ball Pit Troll, where a young child from the audience will vanish on stage in a ball pit.
I can't wait.
And is attacked and eaten by a troll. I'm giving it all away, but there it is. But it's really, last night I was in Nashville up early in the morning with the time change, and then flew in and then rehearsed for 2 hours and then did a brand new show. I was exhausted and it felt great. It felt so good.
Doing all this new stuff, is it exciting?
Yes.
And is Teller equally jazzed?
Yes. We're also scared.
Right. And is there are 3/4 of the way through the show, you're like, Jesus, we still have to do these 3 other.
Yes.
Do you have set lists on the floor?
No.
That's the question.
No, we don't.
'Cause that's the one that most people do in that situation.
No, when we're on the road, we often have set lists on the floor.
Okay.
But I also have to, in this show, count by 56. And we had that on the floor for a while, but not during the show, just during rehearsals. 56, 112, 168, 224, 280, 348, 390, no, 304. Oh, I fucked it up. No. Okay, I'll get it right. 224, 280, 336, 392, 448, 504, 560. That is count. Can you do that without memorizing it?
You want me to do it now?
Yes.
No.
But counting by 56 is hard.
Yeah.
And Teller was very, very gleeful that he didn't have to learn that. Only I had to learn that. And then he realized that in order to do the magic move that he's doing while I'm doing that, he has to do it too. He has to be one step ahead of me, which means he has to have it memorized. Ha, 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 ha. He doesn't have to say it, but he has to know it.
Yeah.
He has to know it. So it's really exciting to do new shows, And I think that there are very few people in our position in show business who are doing that much new material.
Yeah. And it's also the more I've been I actually being involved with magic just a short time, but being into it and realizing what the challenges of magic are in general, the amount of new stuff you're making is beyond impressive because you guys have such a different, needle to thread when it comes to how you guys do magic.
Yeah, we do very specific stuff.
Yeah, and you can't. None of it's see, we're the most all-knowing duo in the world. Or see, we have the most magical powers of anyone in this room, which is how most magic is performed.
Yeah.
And even that, when you're trying to write magic around that is difficult.
Yeah.
And you guys won't do that.
No. The angle you'll see on Placebo is pretty good. I start out by saying placebo means I will please. Mm-hmm. And when prescriptions were written in Latin, if the doctor had a patient who was a pain in the ass and who they couldn't help, they'd write on the prescription pad placebo. And then the pharmacist would just give sugar pills. Now, we knew this was going to shut the patient up, but it ended up having measurable physical improvements. And now we found out that placebos work even when the patient knows it's a placebo. They can say, this is a sugar pill that'll do nothing, but it might help you. Give it a try. And that's what magic is. Because in magic, you know it's tricks, you know it's sleight of hand, but you still need the placebo. In this case, the placebo is a magic wand. It's something for your superstitious lizard brain to believe is causing the magic. And that's always in every trick. Watch in this and see if you can tell where the placebo is.
Oh, wow.
That's the premise of it.
Really nice.
That's a nice
It's
premise.
beautiful.
It is.
It's just another version of being as honest about a magic trick as you can be.
Yeah, it's pretty honest. It's pretty like crazy fucking honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the way through, I go, we're doing secret moves there, but you don't care. You're thinking about the placebo.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I never had a better show than when I was doing a full show and I said, look, if I was really had magical powers, I wouldn't be filling up 125 seats in Los Angeles. You know, I said, but you're here to be fucked with. And I'm here to fuck with you.
Yeah.
And I said that at the top of the show. And then all of a sudden it just opened up the whole show.
Yeah.
Like everyone just goes, oh, good. I don't have to feel like I'm being outwitted or outsmarted or taken advantage of.
There's two choices. If someone says, I can read minds,
Yeah.
your two choices are this person is mentally ill
Yeah.
or this person thinks I'm an idiot. Those are your two choices, right?
Yeah.
They either believe it or that. I mean, this is the problem with intent. I'm bothered by that. Like a lot of the Trump stuff comes down to, did he believe that there was corruption with Joe Biden?
Right. I mean, the stuff about belief and the power of belief that was just declared by the Senate is really frightening.
Yes.
It's really, really.
But see, I would like to, in my world, law has nothing to do with intent.
Right.
It only has to do with what you did.
With effect, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
But you can't get people on board with that.
No. I mean, you can. I mean, like if I didn't know murder was wrong, you can still be held accountable for murder.
That's right.
There is a thing where ignorance is usually not an excuse in law.
Yeah.
That's a big thing about that.
But if you ask me, from what I know of Trump, did he believe that Ukraine was doing this shit and Biden was sure? He's an idiot.
Yeah.
That's his essential defense, right?
Yes.
But actually, it's the Alan Dershowitz thing that makes me really lose sleep. If you believe that getting reelected is in the national interest,
Yep.
and you believe that anything you do is in
that guy was going to stop me from being elected, so I had to shoot him.
and I was like, that's not that didn't cause laughter immediately.
That is just the end justifies the means to the nth degree.
Yes.
But we have many, many questions to get to, which we will get to Wednesday.
None of them about the Senate.
No, I really,
I just want to be clear about that.
this is, I believe when my wife divorces me for mental cruelty,
Yes.
this will be what it's for. She and her mother
Yeah.
watch MSNBC, as far as I can tell, 30, 40 hours a day. And while they're listening to MSNBC, they read about the impeachment. And they worship at the cult of Lawrence O'Donnell Jr.
Yeah.
Sure.
He is God to them.
Yeah.
Lawrence O'Donnell Jr. is one of my closest friends.
Yes.
I talk to Lawrence O'Donnell Jr. lately 2-3 times a week
Really?
for 45 minutes at a time. We chat on the phone. My wife finds that out. Did you talk to LOD? Yes. Well, what did he say about the impeachment? We did. It wasn't mentioned. Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? What does he have? He's not doing it the air. What, we didn't talk about it at all. No, but what is it? What's this essentially? No, didn't mention it. I believe I call up LOD and leave messages that say, guess what I'm doing now? I'm not watching the trial. Ha, ha, ha. Goodbye.
You have to have the only 20 minutes a week that LOD doesn't talk about.
Right.
I mean, it's nothing else he does.
He has
nothing else.
90 minutes with me a week where we talk
Has
about
to be such
humanity.
a breath of fresh air for him.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We talk about stuff that matters.
He sees your name come up on his phone. It's like, oh, good. I can clock out.
Yeah, we talk about real stuff. We talk about peace and love, and and what we're feeling in our hearts, what we're reading. Other than politics.
Yeah.
We talk about our dreams. We talk about his daughter.
Right.
Elizabeth came by, and we were talking. We talk about all that stuff. Talk about Mox and Z and real things that make life matter. Right. And then when my wife, I think believes I'm lying about that. That actually LOD has told me this is what's going to happen. Exactly, word for word.
You take the first letter of every word he said to you.
Yeah.
It's a code.
This is it. And I go, no. I talked a little bit about a conversation with Moxie, and he remembered Elizabeth, his daughter, is 10 years older than Moxie, and so he likes thinking about what it was like to be raising a 14-year-old. I like to think about what Mox would be like in the future. We have that to share. We talk about that. That's what I like to talk about. So we don't talk about politics, and it's really funny because if anybody talks to me about my friendship with LOD, they're always asking, so you must have great political discussions. Nope, doesn't come up that much.
Yeah,
just doesn't come up.
No, I'm actually friends with Lawrence.
Talk about camping.
We're not make believe friends.
Yeah.
Like people that watch them on TV. Yeah. We'll talk more on Wednesday, but that was Penn Sunday School.
That was Penn Sunday School.
Cha cha cha.
And to our listening ears,
You become naked.
all nature sang and round us rang the music of the sea. That was Penn Sunday School.
So it's another place we thought we'd always film, and we don't film.
With oompas.
I did oompas this time.
That was Penn Sunday School.
Brothers and sisters.
No.
Penn Sunday School.
We love you.
Damn. I missed it.